Conrad Weiser, Homestead. Wir sind gekleidet wie Soldaten aus des Deutsches Battalion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are, after all, in the German part of Pennsylvania, aren't we? And welcome and thank you for coming to Charter Day here at Conrad Weiser Homestead. My name is Thad Weaver. I'm a member of the recreated German Regiment, also known as the German Battalion. By the time the German Regiment was raised in 1776, some 16 years after Conrad Weiser passed away. We're going to work our way back into history from me starting in 1776. The reason I'm here and the reason why my group is here is because Conrad Weiser's descendants were called upon once again during the American Revolution to serve their new country. And in fact, Conrad Weiser's son, Benjamin Weiser, raised a company of the German regiment in this particular area of Pennsylvania. The original German regiment was raised in both Philadelphia and points west in the German settled regions of Pennsylvania, with 5 companies and then 4 additional companies raised in western Maryland. The regiment served from 1776, when they actually crossed the Delaware River under George Washington, attacked the Hessian garrison at Trenton after crossing the Delaware, and served all the way until January of 1781, when their soldiers are sent to other units and their officers are dismissed from the service. Bring out my German here. This soldier is dressed typically as you would have seen the German regiment through much of its service in 1776 and 1777. He's armed with a musket, which is a smoothbore weapon. It's not a rifle. It's much like shotguns you might have at home. The big difference between that and the ones you have at home is that it is designed to fit a bayonet. And while one of these men, particularly this one, tell his mother that, may look formidable, imagine 400 of them or 500 of them all lined up in 2 ranks, ready to go toe-to-toe with the Hessian soldiers at Trenton, New Jersey. As to his other clothing, he wears typical small clothes, meaning his pants, which are breeches, this red vest, very, very German to see these red vests cut straight across, and a cocked hat. If you can turn around. He's got a cartridge box, which is this leather pouch, which carries a paper tube, a canteen, a wooden canteen, and then a scabbard for his bayonet. You can turn around. And in addition to that, he's also got this very peculiar looking garment with this fringe on it. This is called a rifle shirt or a hunting shirt. When soldiers first went up to join George Washington's army from Boston with their rifles and wearing these shirts, they were thought to be a terror to the British Army. Washington said that every man dressed like this, the British would think him a perfect marksman. Washington also liked this uniform for one other reason. Washington was very sensitive to how much things cost, and hunting shirts are a cheap way to make men who might not be wearing the same clothes look uniform. So there you have it. There's a very short history of the German regiment. As to Benjamin Weiser himself, his reputation in service with the German regiment is a bit unfortunate. He was ultimately court-martialed. He was dismissed from the service, but the German regiment itself moved on. There's one other issue, one other connection between Conrad Weiser and his son Benjamin and our war for independence, because Conrad Weiser's grandson is a man named John Peter Gabriel Muhlenberg. If you've ever heard of Muhlenberg College, it's the same family. Peter Muhlenberg ended up being a general in George Washington's army, a brigadier general that ultimately served until the end of the Revolutionary War. So thank you very much, and I'll pass it on to my colleagues who are going to bring about 15 years in the past.